We're fading in to the light to make it
Into
right.
the light.
And now that we're live, let me do a quick post to get her. Go ahead and take it away, Mr. Canuck.
Let me check my pulse. Yep, we're alive. Oh, we're live. We're live on more platforms than Grand Central Station.
We're
dude.
live. We're not alive.
I know, but now we are
understand the
live
difference.
on more platforms than Grand Central Station right now. That's what you told me, man. We're on YouTube,
Grand Central
D-Live,
Terminal.
Twitch. Twitch, that's kind of like itch. So we got a big show coming up on Sunday. The final show of our water series. Yes, and we got the lighter side of water. In other words, what's being done to increase water efficiency and also access to water from things like the air and other innovations. And so really want to thank everybody. And if you want to check out the whole water thing, we did the past 2 shows on scarcity and management. And now we got innovation. That should be a really cool thing. And that wraps up the water thing. Next month, we're going to be covering housing quite in depth. And of course, we have all sorts of sub features. And this week, we've got a number of recent developments, extremely important developments that I would imagine, and you give me your opinion on this, Tim, but a lot of people are not aware of the dynamic of the military alliance deal that went down with the United States and United Kingdom and Australia to do with China. And you've got some information on that, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. And France is involved too because
that's right.
Australia made a deal for submarines, I believe 12,
right,
with France back in 2016, so about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears to be no transparency. There were no talks. Australia didn't say anything to France, and then all of a sudden,
oh really?
Biden administration makes an
announcement. I want to cancel that order. I don't want that pizza anymore, by the way.
Really is a diplomatic catastrophe.
Well, yeah. Well,
everyone involved, France, Australia, U.S., and then, of course, CCP and China being very upset that the U.S. will be powering Australia with nuclear submarines.
What are the Chinese government? They're upset that somebody's going to have more military over there. Obviously, they're upset. But, I mean, of course they're going to be upset. And France is going to be upset about your salesperson and you're selling something or your manufacturer and somebody cancel a big order like that. And I think the French are kind of sensitive, to that. It's like kind of they see it as getting dissed a bit. But America's got very spiffy nuclear submarines, it seems to me. And the UK is in on the same technological thing with the United States. I think you said they're about the only country the United States shares nuclear technology with, or one of the few countries, right?
Well, I'm sure the U.S. shares nuclear secrets with Israel because they have a big military pact with them. But the UK was the last time that the U.S. ever sold any type of nuclear powered.
Oh, I see.
Nuclear
hardware
oriented weaponry to another country. It was, I think, back in the late 50s. I'm gonna find the exact year that happened.
Yeah, well, that'll be very informative. And then we've got another seeming debacle which ties into China, which actually is going to affect markets and globally, and a lot of small investors. And that's it's a housing company in China, kind of like Lehman Brothers situation going down over there. Evergrande? Oh, okay. Not so grand ever. Not Evergrande.
It's EVERGRANDE.
Yeah.
But they're basically, well, I mean, the CCP have been artificially inflating their real estate market for many, many years, decades now.
Mm-hmm.
And things are collapsing. So Yeah, so I think the CCP's. It looks like they're probably going to break up Evergrande and bail out the market as they've been doing. Because, I mean, Chinese families have to. They have to take multi-generations have to save just to afford real estate. It's that bad. How it's far worse than I mean, people think in the States, people think they have it bad in the New York area or San Francisco or California. It's much worse in most parts of China, in the cities, the big cities there.
Wow.
It's just very difficult for the middle class there to afford real estate. So it would be devastating if the market collapsed there. And also, one other story that nobody's really talking about, and that's the Yahweh chief financial officer.
Yeah, well, that's just breaking. I hit my radar this morning, and to be honest with you, I'm going to obviously hear a lot about it in Canada, because essentially what happened was that Canada got involved in a dispute between this company, the Chinese company, for something to do with Iran, and wanted to extradite her. So Canada got involved and went and snagged her off of a flight, when she was on a layover in Vancouver, and arrested her to get extradited to the States. And ever since that happened, Canada's been getting a lot of flack. We've got Canadians that are facing death sentences, and they've been held in prison for, way over a year now. And so I'm a bit emotional about it, but I'll try to be nice on the show and not lose my mind. And but yeah, the timing is of always interest. These things don't happen out of the clear blue in general. And so there's three major breaking situations going on to do with Canada, the United States, and a reoccurring theme here on the Canuck and Yankee show is China, and that's because China has an inordinate amount of influence upon both the United States and Canada. Hence, we do cover it a lot, and we think it's very important for people to be more aware of it. And that's my rant for now.
Well, so the chief financial officer, her name is Meng Wanzhou. For Yahweh, and so she's been detained in Canada since 2018, and then there are two Canadians in China that the CCP has been detaining in retaliation for that.
Yeah, I know.
And all of a sudden, she gets freed.
Yeah.
Right when they make this pact, U.S. makes this pact with Australia. Basically, Canada's included in that.
I know.
That's my understanding of it, and. Very strange timing, the coincidence of that. I think they intentionally freed her so that they knew the CCP was going to be enraged that the U.S. would be announcing this alliance.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to look into it.
And it makes sense. Well, and it makes sense that they would free her now.
Okay, we're streaming live. This is Friday afternoon, Friday evening on the East Coast, and by Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time this Sunday, less than 48 hours from now. You're the Canuck and Yankee show. We're going to tell you what's going on because there's a lot of stuff going on, and of course we're going to talk about water, which is important. But this week these things are really getting dynamic. I'm also going to mention the Canadian election, and I could make the Canadian election story last. I covered in 2 seconds. You want to hear my 2-second coverage of it, Tim?
Yeah. No? Well, you seem to have been really impressed by the election. You've
the election.
Lots of great things to say about it.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. My 2-second synopsis of the Canadian federal election that just happened last Monday. No change. Nothing changed, but there's a few dynamics to do with some different parties, so we'll touch on that just because it happens. and it happened here. And there was a party called the People's Party of Canada that did very, very well, much better than they did last time. And they're kind of a libertarian party. So we're going to mention that. And I think we got one other news item, and then we got the Bizarro stuff, right? The usual Bizarro package.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go over briefly crypto mining.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew there was one other.
The CCP announced, I think today, it was either today or yesterday, additional regulations making it known that they don't want crypto. They don't want their citizens using crypto, mining crypto, and so basically at one point, China was about 70% of the mining market in the world, and now they're saying that's been cut down to 40%, and probably going to get even less than that, 30%. So the U.S. is picking up some of that slack, U.S. and Canada. So
definitely.
In Texas, Bitcoin mining rigs are getting set up. Miami's trying to attract miners. Alberta in Canada. Yeah. So it's a big transition.
It is. So we're going to be having an update on that with the crypto situation, and also different ways. Like I was in town. I live near it's a very important city, but it's really small, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and Nelson, BC. And I walked by the store, and it said I could go in there and anonymously buy Bitcoin or crypto or something like that. So what I'm getting to is the streams of distribution seem to be getting more pervasive, so to speak. And that. Storefronts popping up and stuff like that. So Tim's going to give us an update on the different ways that people are accessing crypto, and that of course ties into mining, which is all part of it. And so I think that'll be a good information segment, because crypto is really coming on, and it's something that people might have become knowledgeable of. Whether you participate in it or not, it's going to affect economic activity, which affects everybody.
Indeed, indeed.
Perfect. And as far as the Bizarro things, it's always a quest to outdo what we did last week. And but I've got a few items, and that's generally how I spend my Friday night is searching.
Well, we had a plethora of Bizarro links. We had 6 last week. This week,
I know
we're going to have maybe 3.
Well, I don't know yet. I haven't delved into it, and
it's hard to pick which ones you want to discuss, because there's so much good stuff out there.
I find that usually when I'm looking for Bizarro news, it helps if I'm drinking, say, a really good Pilsner, or perhaps a decent lager or an ale, maybe. It just helps get me in the frame of mind to be able to see the absurdity in what I'm looking at. I think there is one, actually, and it's an update from last week's the immortal life of Amazon Jeff Bezos, and now Peter Thiel is involved in it too. He's going for the immortal life, so we might mention that as a Bizarro subject, but maybe it's not that bizarre. I mean, you know what? I think what happened is, Tim, that's what I think happened. Somebody told them they can't take it with them, so they decide they have to live forever. Otherwise, all that money, is. Why did they do it? You can't take it with you. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's, the November Billionaire Bash, it's going to be.
Oh, well, that's going to be huge.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to hype that up. That's going to be huge. November, we're going to bash billionaires the whole month, and we welcome any billionaires out there to come on the show. It'd be great to have you.
Definitely great to have Bill Gates come on, or George
Oh,
Soros.
any billionaire. There's 2,700 of them. So one of them, I think, might want to come on this show. That'd be great. And they could bash. I'm sure they like bashing each other. I bet the billionaires bash each other.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at Bezos and
Oh,
Musk. They're
and
nonstop bashing each other on social media.
Elon.
It keeps them in the spotlight. Keeps people talking about them. You know, I mean, Musk is great at that. He's great at tooting his own horn and getting seen on social media.
Yep.
And also, I want to announce we're on Twitter Live.
Whoa!
I got a notice in the Restream.io dashboard. We use Restream.io to relay out to all our platforms. And they had a notice a couple days ago. They have support for Twitter Live, but I don't know if anybody really knows if it's officially working right now or not. I don't know how because Periscope.
If anybody sees this on Twitter,
Periscope was shut down.
Yeah,
and that's what how you did it before, and now Twitter Live is replacing that. But I still have not figured that out.
Well, if somebody sees us on Twitter, let us know.
We will be streaming on Twitter Live Sunday, and hopefully by Sunday I'll have figured out how to find the stream and add the address to the show notes and links. But,
boy.
Yeah, so if you're a streamer also, and you're looking for you miss Periscope, check out Twitter Live, and exploit it for all it's worth.
That's right. It's a brave new world, and we want to. We're glad to be part of the streaming community, and we thank everybody for their support. And we encourage you to try to watch our show and other variant shows, and just realize the streaming potential, and let us know what you want us to cover, what your thoughts are. Follow us if you can. It helps us out.
Sounds good. So that's a wrap.
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
Canuck and Yankee show this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
And
we'll be here.
We will be
we'll
here.
Definitely be
live.
here. Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here live then. All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Signing out. Take care.